Revelation 543. From the 13th of August 1938. The influence of ignoble spirit beings on weak people. In the closest proximity to Earth there is predominantly the spirit world, hosting the demons who are too closely tied to matter and which is therefore not able to free itself from the desire for the goods of the world. These souls are in a perpetual struggle. They cannot detach themselves and again do not find the fulfillment of their desires. And so they continue to seek to seize the will of weak people, tempting them to carry out the desires that torment them, and so such spirit beings in the environment are exceedingly harmful to the souls on earth who are themselves very much inclined to such desires. They will always run the risk of being seized by such ignoble forces from the spirit world if they themselves do not make an effort to master their urges and desires, which they can do if they only want to and get the necessary strength to resist from prayer and take refuge with the good spirit beings who are only too happy to comply with such desire. In the activity of the bad as well as the good spirit beings, it is already to be recognized just what power is inherent to all these beings and that it is always left to the free will in man whose power he wants to use. The worst danger for the soul of man is the inclination to the world and its goods. The spiritual beings of the same kind make great use of this, and the danger is greater and greater the more willingly the earthly man goes along with it, until he finally becomes so entangled in the bonds of such evil beings that he can hardly free himself and only divine grace can always grant him assistance, if only he asks for it. As great as the dangers of the temptations are also for the human souls, so the helpful beings are also available in the same measure, but your own will must always be active to seek connection with them, and you will then also never be left without assistance. For the goodness and love of the Heavenly Father constantly cares for His creatures, and in a short time a complete transformation of such a worldly-minded person can take place, so that the splendor of the world and transient goods no longer make an impression on him, because the soul has turned to its true destiny and from that time on, recognizes the nothingness of the earthly world. Then also the influence of the evil spirit beings is very small in compared to the resistance against them, because a strong influence can always only take place where the will of man agrees with them, but never where such weaknesses and desires are fought against out of free will. Thus also the world of the spirits on the other side is constantly plagued by resistance and it is supposed to mature in its realization and to learn to understand the nothingness of the world, which is all the more difficult the deeper they still languish in the bonds of matter, but the hour of redemption will also come for them, to which people on earth can contribute infinitely much if they try to show these beings again and again in spirit how futile and damaging all earthly goods are for the soul and how much more successful the striving for spiritual good is for the soul. Amen.